us, if you're catching us from within Lusaka, we're on 106.1 FM. All right. If it's in Dola, we're on 98.9 FM. And then if you're catching us from the Copper Belt is 105.3 FM. You can also connect with us via the Facebook Live link. We actually welcome you live from the Facebook Live link. All right. And then you can also connect with us via YouTube. The best thing you can simply do is look for Lorenzo Entertainment TV on YouTube. Subscribe to that channel by hitting the red button, and then you'll be able to watch us live in living color with better quality. So feel free to get interactive with us right through to 13. Without much ado, let me take this moment now to introduce the rest of the members of the board of football luminaries. On my immediate left, I do have the first lady of the show, Lady Lucy. Welcome back to the program.
Good morning, Lorenzo. How are you?
Very well, thanks. And how have you been?
Good morning to our listeners. I've been okay.
Okay.
Long time.
Yeah, long time indeed. Long time.
It's good to be on Backpage, you know.
Absolutely.
I really missed you guys.
We did miss you too.
Yes.
All right. And we also welcome back after a long time the towering Zamjirian.
Thank you.
Inimanwo.
Thank you very
All
much.
right. He stands taller than the Twin Towers. The Petronas Tower. Even the Burj Khalifa.
Hi guys, how are you doing? How are you guys doing, man?
Including Mount
It's been
Kilimanjaro.
ages.
How are you?
Yeah, like he's standing on Mount Kilimanjaro.
It's been 3,000. I don't know how 2 months can look like 3,000 years.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yes.
2 months, eh?
It was
2 months.
long, but it's good to be on Backpage
Yes,
again.
it's good
man.
to be with
I
you.
missed the Backpage family for sure.
And
Sure.
we did miss you too. All right, the protege of the show, Mapalo, who's also been missing a long time.
I know why he's here today.
Is it 2 months?
Oh yeah,
He's
probably.
warming up.
Yeah, of course. Okay, it seems like a coincidence that immediately the Premier League is announced to reopen, and
Here you are.
I'm back.
Strategically back.
Anyway, we have to adjust to living in the new normal, and
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I absolutely missed being here. I
Yes,
missed
we
the
missed you
family.
too, Mapalo.
Yes, and I'm just glad to be back.
Yeah.
Thank God.
It's good to be with you.
Awesome, awesome. We have a lot to look at on the program today, and we anticipate that you will participate from wherever you're tuning into the program. The number is 0960 200 490 for interactive sessions. All right. And then if you want to call us, we'll definitely put you through at a push of a button on 0960 200 490. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today we're having a part two to what was being discussed last week. And this definitely has everything to do with Irva's best 11 he's ever coached. Now, not necessarily to bore people, but we have a response from Irva, and that is what will be our focus of
Yes.
discussion for today.
Mhm.
But considering that I didn't have any of you last week,
Mhm.
I'll have to recap by
All right.
running us through the list that Irva settled for. Quite an interesting one, all right? Quite an interesting list, I must add, that Irva did settle for. So let me try to fetch it here, and I'll run through Irva's best ever 11. Now, the rationale behind him picking this one is the fact that he believes this is the best he's ever coached ever. All right. But there were sentiments, and I'll want Lucy to pick it up with sentiments that he did share to exculpate himself
Yes.
for having chosen that best 11 ever. What reasons did he give for having gone for that team and not the Zambian team? And probably what is he saying today? That is forming the basis of our interaction today.
Sure, sure.
Mhm. So to say, it pretty boggles the mind. One might think of it, Lucy, that he says he went for individual brilliance as opposed to collective team effort before the
Yes,
other guys come in as
I'm
well.
actually a little bit disappointed, or not really I would say sad, everything, call it,
Mhm.
because if you're going to say that, well, with the Zambian team, it was all about collective that is working together as a team. I really envy them in that way. But with the others, the reasons why he chose the other players is because they were brilliant players, meaning They were able to articulate things on their own. They were doing, they were thinking. So he's saying we were less in terms of thinking, but we were working together as a team. So now, if you were to ask yourself, you would be thinking now, what qualifies a good player? What does a coach look for in a player? Should brilliance be out of it? Should we just be talking, say, maybe because XYZ they sing together well, Bustele when they're in their dressing room, and that's the reason why we're going
motivation.
to exactly. That is not right. I don't think so. There should be some intelligence as well if you have to qualify someone as a good player. So well said. I am not a coach, and I want to believe my colleagues here in the studio, they will be able to really give us the good feedback or reasoning behind his selection. For me, I want to think a player should have both. You need to have the intelligence. You need to articulate. You need to think, because if you are going to give them tactics, this is the strategy for the game today. You should be able to know as a coach to say, I have well thoughtful players on the pitch and they understand my strategy. We are together, and this is how we are going to do it in order to carry the day at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Let me run through the list before Emmanuel and Mapalo come in. Just to wait. First, I would want to get Emmanuel and Mapalo's thoughts on air. All right. So Hervé in goal went for Richard Kingston, the legendary Ghanaian goalkeeper, and then it should be at left back, Benatia. He plays for Juventus. Is he still at Juventus?
No, he left.
Yeah.
He's left, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, Benatia. A European football household name.
Yeah.
All right, in Benatia there. And then John Mensah partners Kolo Toure in central defense. All right. Actually, at right back is Benatia. And then at left back, he went for Ashraf Hakimi. All right. Then in that holding midfield row, there's Yaya Toure alongside Marco Essien. Okay. Then in the hole, in that three-prong attack, there is Suli Muntari playing on the left-hand side of midfield, or left-hand side of attack is Andre Dereayu. And then on the right-hand side, Emmanuel and Mapalo, there's Tieni. All right, up front is Asamoah Gyan. And then he was kind of magnanimous enough for the bench to go for Jordan Ayew, Gervinho, and Eunice Belhanda. All right, now these are the players Hervé now says he went for individual brilliance. But first, I want to pick your opinion, Emmanuel, from the question that we did pose last week. What do you make of Hervé's best ever 11, leaving out not even one player from the Zambian team that helped him win his first ever Africa Cup of Nations medal?
I want to start off by saying I love Zambia. I love this country so much.
Like a disclaimer.
I like it. No, I like how it's open.
I don't want anybody to get twisted. Zambia is one of the most fantastic nations you can live in. They have one of the best people that God ever created. Now, let's now come back to reality. There is no one on that list I will take off. Why? Because he spoke about individual brilliance over FIFA 11.
Yeah.
They didn't ask, what is the best team you ever coached? They said, what is your best FIFA 11? And I like the man because he's a very honest man. And picked out if you call out the 11 again, I will tell you the clubs these guys played for and how they finished as world-class players. From Kolo Toure to Asamoah Gyan to Yaya Toure. I mean, everyone he mentioned were classified, as world-class players. So I won't take anything from him, but what me and Lutu were discussing before the show started was Zambia team was the best team he ever coached.
Very true.
And as a manager, you would want to stick with the best team you ever managed over individual brilliance. Like we spoke, we said egos come into the dressing room. Ronaldo might be, for me, the best player in the world, but it's not easy to coach Ronaldo because whatever player you're buying into, Real Madrid or Juventus, you know that he's going to compete against Ronaldo. When Ronaldo has an attitude, you better know how to maintain it. You don't give Ronaldo places on the pitch because he likes to roam around. So it's not easy to coach world-class players, but it's very important to also accept the fact that, every individual on that list deserve to be on there. But with no doubt, as a Nigerian, I can openly, come out and say the Zambian team he coached was remarkable, and that's the best team, I have seen, being produced by the Zambian national team.
Okay, all right. Very good sentiments coming through there from Emmanuel. Mapalo, what did you make of it? Of course, there was an interesting exchange of opinion in the group.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Let's
WhatsApp
get
group.
into that.
But let's have you buy in. All right, let's have you bite off the cherry
Yeah.
on this particular topic from last week.
I remember I was shot down by Uncle Chapa and by Edgar in the
Uh-huh.
group
Uh-huh.
when I said the squad he made was a commercial first 11, meaning those are players we've all heard of, and okay. He didn't make it as clear as he's come out the second time by saying no, I chose on the basis of individual brilliance.
Yeah.
It hurts Zambians so much because we feel like we really upped his career per se. I don't know. After he left us for Angola. We got him back and we got him from Ghana when he was just a physical trainer or whatever. So Zambians were hurt because not even the bench didn't include someone like Kennedy Mwene, for example, Chris Katongo, who won BBC African Footballer of the Year in 2012. They were phenomenal. It was really heartbreaking for some Zambians. But now that he's talked of individual brilliance, of course, the level of players like Yaya Toure, Saka Tiene, Asamoah Gyan, or Richard Kingston, the Bloomfield hero of Blackpool. Of course, our Zambian players don't come close because most of them haven't really experienced that level. But yeah, I now understand, and it's okay. It's okay. Now that he said Zambia is the best collective team he's coached, I'm okay with that, and he's forgiven on my part.
Now, Lucy, we're tempted to think that he's just trying to save face. All right? Don't you think so? Before we follow up with other questions.
I think he's trying to be nice. Probably he doesn't want to hurt other people's feelings because where you have not touched or you probably got an eye somewhere where there's a vacancy and you're saying I also want to throw in my CV. You want to be
Massaging
nice
the
with
ego of the Ghanaian.
Ghanaians,
Yes,
Black
he knows.
Stars.
Okay, Zambia has been a wife best second time, so it's time to move on. But there's a greener pasture somewhere there. So what do I do? Let me be nice with those children in that house so that when I become a father, they will accept me easily. So I think for me, I would say it's just about him trying to be nice so that when he throws in his CV, it won't be very difficult for whoever will be looking at it to give a reason as to why they shouldn't pick him.
All right, now, Emmanuel, one interesting fact is, have you noticed that from the list, he's actually included about 6 Ghanaian players? And then from those players,
that's like quarter of or is it half of
half of the team.
Half of the team,
Yes,
yes.
he didn't win anything with Ghana,
You
but he
see?
won something with Ivory Coast. And
I told you guys.
All right, and he won something with Ivory Coast. One would expect, okay, if it's individual brilliance, then why doesn't he go for the individual brilliance of the Ivorians that helped him win the Africa Cup, just like in Zambia's case? But he goes for the 6 Ghanaians. If anything, in Ghana, he was assistant to Claude Leroy.
Okay. So, like I started with again,
I love Zambia
so much. But also, I like I said, I wouldn't take anyone off the first 11. Put the bench aside now. The first 11 was very solid.
Solid, eh?
And he spoke about individual brilliance.
Yeah. Where would who
every
fit?
Ghanaian that was in there is individually
Brilliant. Yeah.
Montari is a world-class player.
Essien
is a world-class player. So no matter the agenda he has to want to go to Ghana, God bless you and your agenda, sir. But the fact remains that every player on that list were world-class players. Now, I totally agree with Lucy. If you are seeing fine banana across the river, you will find ways to, romance your way there.
Even over crocodiles.
For me, I think you should take a sabbatical because that guy has been coaching from forever, so he needs to rest. But if he wants another job, you can't really kick him. But like Lucy said, he might have an agenda and want to, get the Ghanaian job, but that doesn't change the first 11 for sure, because I feel everybody that was included in there deserved.
Or probably he wants to coach before he can finally say, I've done it, guys.
Yeah.
It's been nice
Yeah.
Being
No,
in
but
Africa.
how old is he? I think he still has a long career.
Yeah, he still has, should be in his 50s. I need to check. I need
people
to
are
count
coaching
check.
to 70.
To 70,
You know,
yeah.
so
Yeah,
no, it's
Just-
but Lucy said one thing which is very true.
Mhm.
Right now, if you're listening to me,
Uh-huh.
if you're coming back to get the Zambian job,
Uh-huh.
change your 11. At least put some Zambians on the bench.
At least one.
I was speaking, with Lorenzo, and I said, Katongo deserves to at least be on that team.
Yeah,
You
because
know,
he was
on
the
the bench
captain of the
somewhere.
side.
That guy,
And-
watching him from my TV set, I said, what is this? An
Mhm.
absolute beast of a human being.
Uh-huh.
So I felt he deserved to be on the team. Not like I would throw anybody out for him
Mhm.
because
Uh-huh.
everybody was still brilliant. But
Mhm.
that guy, for what he achieved, for Zambia's national team, he deserved to be.
On that
Because
team.
he was also individually very talented.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So he
And you
deserved
know,
to be there.
Sorry, Emmanuel, to cut you short. And even when we are talking about individual brilliance, for me, I would still say our boys still have individual brilliance according to their standards, because here we are talking about exposure. You
Yeah.
understand what I mean? Those the guys that he mentioned had a lot of opportunities, or they are better in terms of foundation. You cannot compare with our guys, but our guys in their own way as well, they're okay. They've got their
Yeah.
own individual brilliance that drives us to where we are right now, and there are things that these players cannot control. It's out of their system. We need really to understand. So to say individual brilliance, for me, it's like an insult, because everyone is intelligent in their own way. Very true, Lorenzo.
They're very
Very
No,
true.
Lucy, you have a
Yeah.
point, but there's a difference between a very good player and a world-class player.
We'll get there one day.
In Jesus' name. Let's keep it that way.
All right, Emmanuel, saving face, and then I move on to the text messages. Saving face, or maybe, fact, yeah.
Fact.
Well, reading from the Daily Mail, he says no, Zambia were the best team, they had the best morale, and he goes on to include the players people were crying for. Hey, Chris Katongo, hey, Rempu Kalawa, hey, Stopila Sunzu, Mwene. He puts them on the bench now. Why didn't he put them on the bench the first time?
That's another question.
Yes, that's the
Yeah.
part that really it triggers people. It annoys them a bit, and like Madam Lucy has mentioned here, it's with us, the Southern African countries, we're a bit unfortunate when it comes to exposure. Let me say going to Europe, because I would say our colonial masters, the Brits, for them, they usually get their players from France or Belgium or these other countries, whereas you see countries like Belgium themselves or France, they go deep scouting into these West African countries, and that's why you see a lot, even Congo, a lot of Belgian countries, a lot of Congolese players
Yes.
are actually based in Belgium, and they've got that sort of exposure.
Yes.
But where will you see
colonial
Man
masters,
United
yes.
academies coming here to scout our players? It's really unfortunate in that way, but maybe talent-wise,
It's all about foundation. Really, yeah.
yes.
Foundation is
remember-
very important. Even in school, if you had a very bad foundation, you cannot compare yourself with somebody who's been going to
Exactly.
private
I
school,
agree.
or they had a personal tutor.
Mhm.
When you're in a class where you were 60 pupils and you're trying very hard, for your teacher to recognize who Lucy is in class, as opposed to those that are like 10 in class and they are taught individual. It's different, guys.
Mhm.
Us, we're meant to believe you have to study 10 subjects in order to get to where you want to be. Others, the moment you are 10 years in Europe, they recognize Lucy can't do well in class, but she can play football. They
Mhm.
concentrate.
She
You
becomes
go
the
to school
player
just
for
exactly.
Liverpool FC.
You go to school
under
just to
12.
play football. Just like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't argue with any of the points you raised, because you definitely have valid points. But I remember Emmanuel Mayuka, who played for Southampton. I feel like the Bible said, your talent will make it way for you.
To make way for kings.
Thank
for
you. If
you.
you're consistent on what you do, eventually
Yes.
you will get, to the like what we see the Zambians were very proud of.
Mhm.
They're playing in Leipzig right now.
Uh-huh.
They're doing us proud. So I think slowly Zambians are going to get recognized, and we'll now be talking as a Zambian for a world-class player for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let me get to read some comments coming through. Moses says, watching you from Dula. Angel says, watching from Kitwe. Thank you very much. Lee Mambwe watching from Mufulira. And then Betha Samus Chisenga watching from Ndola. The Copper Belt is doing very well today. And then Kenny Masapi watching you live in Addis Ababa Road at Living Concept Shows. Show. All right. Deborah, thank you for tuning in as well. Alec Banda Jr. says watching live from Kabompo, Northwestern Province. All right. That's over 800 kilometers from here, Emmanuel.
That's too
About
far.
845 kilometers from almost 1,000 k's. Yeah. And then now Linduda says hi, Lorenzo, Shadow Walker, Lucy, Studio Painted Red, and Mapalo, my young bro. I need the jersey and the big man, Emmanuel. June looks interesting as we get back to the world of football, including the FAS MTN League. We might be crowned at Goodison Park. You never walk alone. Watching live from Mongo, all right, in Western Province. Thank you very much, my brother. Clifford Chipoya, watching from Kalumbila in Northwestern Province. Thank you very much. Junior Mikaeli Mike, watching live from West Africa in Sierra Leone. All right, how is it in Sierra Leone, my brother? Please tell us, is the Sierra Leonean League back, or maybe it's been suspended, and who's been declared champion right from Sierra Leone? We'd like to appreciate your contribution, Mike. Then Humphrey Wheeler says, streaming live from Midland City. Hudson says, I'm watching you from Ndola, EPO back soon. Nikki Mulwanda, we're glad you're back from running early in the morning and you're able to join us. And then Lohanga Jr. says, watching from Livingston. Thank you very much. Justin Peary says, I'm watching you live from Mozambique, Beira. Stay blessed always. Thank you very much, Justin. Anyone who knows Portuguese in here? Obrigado, Justin. Obrigado. Hola. Hola, if anything, yeah, it's actually hola, as in hello.
Hello.
Yeah, so hola from Beira, Mozambique, Justin Peary. We're really grateful for tuning in.
Yes.
And then Obet Kunda says, watching you live from Lusaka. When will the Chan games start? Are they starting, gentlemen? Please take note of that. Then Clive Bomba, thanks for tuning in. And then Asan Joseph Peary says, enjoying the show. It will never be a weekend without Backpage. Love you people. Keep up the best work. Moses Zulu says, I love this. Thank you. Nigel from Kalumbila, we're glad you could join us. Moses Zulu watching from Chamba Valley. Okay, all right. And then Kenny Masabi says, where's my chairman? He's held up. He's unable to join us today, but he'll be back next weekend. All right, then Dixon Kangombe says, watching you from Luanshia. Thank you very much for tuning in. And then Nawa says, good to see you guys, especially Lucy. So that's Nawa. Nawa is happy to see you, Lucy, in the
Thank
studio.
you, Nawa.
And then Ben Muma says, good morning, Lorenzo and the panelists. I'm watching you live from Matero North, Lusaka. Nobo Mayembe says, good morning. And then now ask, which Zambian player is world class? We Zambians should stop misleading ourselves. We don't have world class players. He's agreeing with Emmanuel. Eh? All right.
No one said we have a world class Zambian.
Emmanuel says there's a difference between a good player and a world class player. Eh?
No one said we have.
Oh, no one said that.
No
Eh?
one said no.
Okay. And then Gili. Is it
We all
Gili
know
or
where we
Gili?
belong.
Exactly.
Especially now.
Yeah. He says, good morning, Lorenzo. Watching you guys live and enjoying the show from Mufulira. Thank you very much. And then Ikakena Subulwa says, glad the EPO will be back. My team will win at Liverpool. Whoever's list is his opinion. Respected. And then, all right. And then Ikakena adds, Irva is looking for another coaching job in Africa. He's tired of Qatar. Asakela Nshito. Then Kachenga Sakala says, watching live from within Lusaka. All right, thank you very much for coming through. All right, so those of you that are able to catch us via YouTube, look for Lorenzo Entertainment TV, subscribe by hitting the red button, and then please contribute as much as these are actually contributing to the program. All right, now another item that we want to discuss. All right, before we do that, let me just try to read a few more text messages remaining. All right, this one is coming through, all right, from Dalito Zulu. All right, Jose is watching live from Lusaka, Chawama. Sumani Zimba watching live from Livingston, Manivra. And then Joshua Sambe says watching live from Ndola. Kefas Kasabi says, hi family, you're live from home. Kefas Fish. Enoch Lilefo Jr. says, hi Lorenzo and Pano, enjoying the show in Ndola. We respect Rena's best 11. He has coached. However, one thing he must remember is that when he was with Ghana, He was a physical trainer and not head coach. It's the Polo Polo that made him and introduced him to be a world-class coach. So some of his selections are not justified. If he meant his selections was based on individual brilliance, then we deserve to be on the list because they managed to defeat those same world-class players. Harold Mwanabene says, "Good morning, gentlemen and a lady. Did Coach Micho was he given a contract yet? And how many years?" Harold from Garden House. Emmanuel Zulu says, "Live from Charleston. The problem is we always expect someone to tell us how good we are. We have a complex." That is what Emmanuel says.
No, that's not what I said. I love Zambia.
No. I don't mean you. I mean this Emmanuel.
Oh, thank you.
There's another Emmanuel. Another Emmanuel. Emmanuel Zulu.
I think the man that brought up the one about
Good points.
about Ghana was a very, very solid point. But what you need to know is you can be a better team and beat world-class players.
That's the thing, eh? Collective effort.
If I give you a Turi at his peak, or I don't know, in Maple at his peak, who would you select for the Zambia national team?
Yeah, Lucy, who would you select?
Who would you select? Jesus Christ is in the studio.
Definitely Mwepu.
That's what we're trying to say. You know, anybody can be anybody's football.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
talent remains the same.
Yeah.
Talent remains the same, right? Okay, all right. Now, gentlemen and a lady, another item that makes interesting reading is, and then I'll get to the calls. CAF gives Football House $200,000.
Yes, very
Relief
interesting.
grant
Yeah. So we've seen
to
today.
ease financial burden. What are the details, Lucian, and the panel comes in?
So, Football Association of Zambia, that is they are headed for a cash windfall as Confederation of African Football, that is CAF, are going to give them $200,000, and this is mainly part of the coronavirus mitigation grant. It's a grant, huh?
Yeah, it's a grant.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to pay it back.
Yes.
Okay, now, Emmanuel, this is probably what, if anything, this should be borne in mind that this is on top of the already $500,000 that FIFA did give FAS. All right. Now, what would be the best way of using such monies, Emmanuel and Mapalo?
Hey. The reason was to put me in trouble. I think first of all will be to attend to the families of the players affected. I think in this time we need to address family situations.
Absolutely,
this is bigger than football. A lot of people are suffering. A lot of people are going through a lot, especially from the pandemic that has really affected homes. We have people who are quarantining with their family members, and some of them have to stay away from their very family members. So we need to address how the players are doing right now. Send money to the players, make sure they have groceries to afford for themselves, and create facilities in a time like this that they can constantly work out. Because once football comes back, nobody's going to ask you, sorry, we're not ready. We didn't work out, so please. Coronavirus stopped us from, being fit enough. We're not hearing any excuses. So please create facilities and, a scheduled structure for players to be able to work out from their homes, or you can loan or rent a facility itself that players can come, get tested, and get to train there, so that when Zambia League resumes or when national football resumes,
we don't have overweight.
Thank you. We don't have Ronaldo de Limas. We have people who have been working out and can give the fans their money's worth when they step on the pitch.
Awesome. All right, just to chime in, Mapalo, before I get the call. All right, a grant is welcome in definitely hard times, hard economic times like these ones.
$700,000.
$200,000
plus
the 500. Yes, from FIFA.
Wow, as the towering Zamjarian has already mentioned, it's relief for everything endured during the coronavirus. I think if FAS are planning on restarting the league as soon as possible, we have to follow measures that maybe other leagues are following. Maybe we're not as financially able as they are, but follow measures whereby you provide testing kits for players and for teams, so that they'll be able to test their players even before they go back into full contact training, because we know football is a contact sport, and
Absolutely.
yes, we cannot avoid certain things. So I hope the allocation will be very fair, and I hope it will be used in the best way possible. And well, we all just want to see our football back, and I hope it'll be enough to provide the relief required, because we all just want to see our football back.
Okay, I think we do have Andrew calling us on the program. All right, here we go. You're through to Backpage. Hi, how are you doing, Andrew?
Yes, listen, fine, thank you. Good to hear Lucy's voice, good to hear Emmanuel's voice, good to hear.
Morning, Andrew.
Thank you. Morning.
Morning.
And good to hear all the comments that have come through. But one thing that we can never take away, Emmanuel is talking about world-class players. Go and put Chris Katongo in Southampton. Go and put Miami in Leeds or in Newcastle or in any team that you can think of. These guys can perform. These guys are equally world class, despite the fact that they never went up there and made a name up there. But these guys have got their name inked on the championship in Africa. So they are world class. The world knows that in 2012, a group of 15, 18 Zambian players conquered Africa. The world knows. And the world knows the names of these players. So, and this same coach was known well over because of that same 2012 team that he is calling it's a good team and has got no individual brilliant players. It's an excuse, very big excuse. Zambian players have got talent. Wherever they go, they make a mark. We have two young Zambian players making a mark out there. They went to Liverpool and showed Liverpool that they are able to perform. So, whether anyone else around the world says Zambia hasn't got the players in whichever league, Zambian players are world class. Thank you very much, Naroja.
Okay, thanks for coming through, Andrew. So Andrew here, weighing in his opinion. Now he's saying, Mapalo, Andrew is insisting that Zambian players are world class.
I told you.
Does he have a point? Does he have a point? If we take Chris Katongo to the Lushniki Stadium
Thank
in
you.
Russia.
Yes, it's exactly what me and Madame Lucy have tried to say here. It's the exposure. They are exposed because there are a lot of scouts going to their leagues in West Africa. How many Nigerians are in Europe? How many Ghanaians are in Europe? How many Ivorians are in Europe? Even just Guinea. How many is Guinea a better footballing nation than Zambia? I don't think so. Our history is richer than theirs. But there they are. They have the navigators and the whoever's. They are playing for Liverpool. It's because of the exposure they have. It's different with us in Zambia. I don't know why, but I think the South Africans have done well in promoted their own league. A lot of their players come from their own league, and I think it's something we're doing here as well, because we can't always be dependent on our players going to Europe. We know Europe is the highest level, and yes, commercially they are world class, but we have equally as much talent here in Zambia. I do believe that. I agree with my Andrew.
Emmanuel. Andrew says Zambian players are world class players. What they like is exposure.
World class players are not restricted to a nation or to a tribe. So yes, Zambia has created players that I believe are fantastic players. Now the only thing I would say is in analysis you don't depend on ifs. I haven't seen Katongo in a Newcastle shirt, so I can't say, oh, because I've seen him play for this, he has the talent enough to play in the Premier League. We don't depend on ifs in analysis.
We haven't seen Katongo in the West Ham United
period. But I brought in Mayuka. I loved him out of Mayuka so much. He brought Southampton. Before Mane came, he was one of the people that really put Southampton on the map, where we're taking notice of these guys as a very good club. But it doesn't take away from Mapolo's points. I think the reason why seeing Zambian players in Europe more recognized now is because scouting has spread its wings to really take our local players from here and whatever clubs they have gone to really see how good are these players. And like he said, they did very well against Liverpool, and will continue to support them. But it doesn't knock the fact that your talents will eventually make way for you. The same way I give credit to Enoch Mwipo and Patson Daka, because they were talented enough, and also their talent made way for them, for the scouts to recognize that. I don't see Daka spending the next 2 seasons in Leipzig. Why? Because I feel a bigger club will want to sign his talents. So it's not a knock on Zambian players. The world class does not depend on a nation. It depends on how much are you giving on a consistent basis, and you get that. This the South African player, Pena, but what's his name now? That played for
Pina.
Steven
Pina.
That played for Everton. I just think if you keep doing what you're doing on a consistent basis, if you perform, even in the African Cup of Nations, most of these scouts are watching.
Absolutely,
they're watching, so they'll pick you up one way or the other. And I feel Zambian football is getting to a place right now that we have a lot of individual talent that hopefully one day can become world-class players.
Awesome. Let me get a call before we go for a breather in time for the second hour, where we're discussing quite interesting aspects as well of the game. 0960-200-490. But while we're queuing that call, this one says, "Morning, gentlemen and lady. I'm Regan Kamalosu from Lusaka. I'm really disappointed with Hervé," he says. All right, and then he adds, "To start with, Zambia made him to be seen and known by the whole world. So for him, not even to identify one player to be among his best 11, is really ungrateful. In as much as he is eyeing for a job in Ghana, he should not forget that the team that made him known with his white shirt, a team comprises of 11 players. So it's unwise to depict an individual player, but get the team that put collective effort and bring about results." Thank you, Kamlosu, for that text message. 0960-200-490. Let's get a call. All right, this one says, "Hello, Wabonse. I have been listening to the show since 2005, and you guys have never been a disappointment. Ever selection, thank you very much." And then you're saying, "Ever selection for me was okay, though I still think Mwene and Calabar should have at least met the bench. Lorenzo shed light on rumors linking Mwepu to a move to Liverpool. Evans Banda in Solwezi." Thank you, Evans. We'll definitely have that as well. You're through to Backpage. Good morning. How are you? Okay, you sound very faint. Is that Morgan?
We're fine,
we're okay,
thank
and you're
you.
better now.
We are making a mistake in trying to say a lot of things. Let's say you cannot say Germany 2018 when I taking the test now. Let me say Germany is a bad team. It's not. It's not. Whether April out of Zambia. Even when Zambia won the Africa Cup, we were still ranked about fourth in Africa. We were not ranked first. You see the point, right? The losers were still ranked first. So we cannot always say, "Oh, because April now, so we want to see this and that." No. April now has given us his thought. And just like the other one on the panel talked about, the Ghanaians, even this, I don't dispute. When we talk of John Mesa, the man's priorities were not to his place. He just talked about exactly the Ghanaian who in their time. That's right. The law was right. But the point we are making, let me tell you, yes, the issue is just on maybe just one that I like that one. Make that one on the bench. But we should not dispute what he said.
Okay.
When you come again, he was honest again with our team.
All right.
Our team was brilliant as a collective team.
Okay. We're approaching the. Okay, Morgan, we're approaching the top of the hour. We're approaching the top of the hour. Can I have you come back in the second hour?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for coming through. You're raising good points. All right, he's definitely raising good points, but we're hitting the top of the hour. We're going for a breather. When we come back, we definitely switch on to the international front, but we'll also be getting your reactions and comments from what we're looking at on the program. All right, so for those of you catching us via YouTube and via Facebook Live, we briefly cut transmission, man. We'll definitely be back with part 2 for today's broadcast. All right, so